Well, those immigration advocates already warning of increasing of ICE activity, not only in the downtown area, but in several Chicago neighborhoods. This as they talk about the march and rally that they're planning for this afternoon. Meanwhile, Chicago leaders, of course, are bracing for more demonstrations while they're asking that any protests remain peaceful. Another anti-ICE Chicago protest expected this afternoon by immigration advocates and their supporters.
Later today, our communities and allies will be showing up to say that ICE is not welcome here in Chicago or anywhere in Illinois.
That's right. Organizers say the rally and march is to further push back on the Trump administration's immigration policies. It comes as there are warnings that ICE agents are ramping up their actions and have been given 48 hours to stand by and deploy, spreading fear in some communities.
We are preparing for workplace raids across the region, just like we saw in LA last week. We hear there will be tactical teams, there will be many tanks, there will be other tools that they use in which they plan to do raids, just like we saw last week.
Immigration advocates say undocumented immigrants remain the target. Last week, agents took dozens of people into custody following routine check-ins at an immigration facility in the South Loop. Antonio Gutierrez of Organized Committees Against Deportation says one of his members has been detained. The mother of three is currently being held in a jail in Kentucky.
This is inhumane.
Inhumane.
These conditions mirror those of concentration camps during the Holocaust.
City leaders have said Chicago is one of 5 cities run by Democrats being targeted by President Trump, who some say is looking for an excuse to send the National Guard and Marines to Chicago. This coalition of immigration advocates is asking that any protest remain peaceful.
We want ICE out of Illinois. We want ICE out of our community. And we want all immigrants to be free.
Now, city leaders do say that state and local laws do not allow Chicago Police Department officers to cooperate with ICE, but what they can do is be present at ICE raids to control crowds if protests impact the safety of residents. Of course, the so-called No Kings March happens this weekend in cities across the country and, of course, here in Chicago as well.